Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Let me text a few board members and wait for staff, and then we'll get started.
Sounds good.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Isaiah.
Sorry, I'm muted now. Hi, how you doing?
Well, how are you?
Great, thank you. I met with Newington Public Schools today. They're in your state, said you guys had 4 inches of snow yesterday, so it bumped our sales meeting from yesterday to today.
Yeah, that's actually the town I live in, so small world.
Yeah.
I am just checking in with a few board, and then once they join, we can get started.
Sounds good.
Hi, Yvette.
Hey there, I'm driving. Sorry, I'm off camera.
No worries.
It's okay. I'm off camera as well.
At least you both have pictures. I don't when I'm off camera. I need to get one.
Yeah. We'll give it about, I would say 1 more minute and then we'll get started.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we can get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Francoise Darostel Ledger, and I am the Chair of the Teaching and Learning Committee for the Hartford Board of Education, and today is March 1st, Women's History Month. So, happy Women's History Month. And I'd like to just popcorn around and have everyone introduce themselves and what role they serve. And so I'll pass it on to Nancy Williams.
Thank you, Ms. Carolyn. I am Nancy Williams. I am the Senior Talent Recruiter in the Office of Talent Management within the Hartford Public Schools. And I'm going to popcorn it over to Isaiah Thaler, who is joining me here today to discuss the contract for the International Alliance Group.
Hi, all. Absolutely excited to be here and enter our second year of partnership to bring J1 visa teachers to your school district. So yeah, excited to highlight our partnership that we have in place currently. So Isaiah Thaler, International Alliance Group, VP of Marketing and Partnerships for our partner school districts across the country.
Well, I'll jump in. Christina Santiago. I am the board liaison for the Hartford Public Schools, and I will popcorn it off to Dr. Felder.
Hi, everyone. Dr. Chaka Felder McIntyre. I am the Executive Director for Post-Secondary Success and Alternative Programs here at Hartford Public Schools, and I will popcorn it to Sherry.
Good afternoon, all. I am Sherry Davis Gooch, Chief Operating Officer for Hartford Public Schools. I will turn it over to Dr. Silver.
Thank you so much, Chief Davis Gooch. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bethany Silver, Chief Performance Officer for the Hartford Public Schools, and I have called in, and I'm also on Zoom, but I have to transition, so my phone number there. And I will turn this over to Paul Foster.
Good evening, Paul Foster. I am the Deputy Superintendent for the Hartford Schools. Oh, and I will pass it to, shoot, I'm trying to figure out who hasn't gone. I think Hannah hasn't gone.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hannah Kieser, and I am a Special Projects Manager for the Office of Academics here at Hartford Public Schools. I will pass it. I think everyone has gone. Am I missing anybody?
I think just the board members, Yvette and
Hi, everybody. Again, sorry I'm off camera. I'm sort of driving. But happy to be here. I am the board member with the Board of Ed.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I believe that's everyone, right, Christina?
correct. And I just get a message, Ms. Brody will be joining shortly.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much. And can we please have the agenda?
Yes. Can you guys see that?
I can see it. Thank you so much. So our first item on the agenda is contract approval, International Alliance Group.
So I just, oh, sorry, AIG. Yep. I just want to start off by saying that Dr. Noon is away at a conference, so she's unable to attend this meeting, our fearless committee leader. So we have on the call with us, as she introduced herself earlier, Nancy Williams, as well as Mr. Isaiah from the IAG to discuss this contract. And Nancy, did you want me to? Yeah, I am screen sharing. Hold on.
Sure, I wasn't sure what the next step was going to be.
I was
Thank you for
already.
your patience with me.
Actually, sorry, I'm on the wrong tab. Give me 1 second, folks. Okay. Of course, messing all of this up. Here we go. Nancy, take it away.
Thanks, Christina. You went through that really quickly. Thank you. So again, my name is Nancy Williams. I am the Senior Talent Recruiter in the Office of Talent Management. I am joined by Isaiah Thaler, who is the Vice President of Marketing and Partnerships with the International Alliance Group. Next slide, please. The contract we are presenting today is the International Alliance Group. The objective is to recruit and hire exceptional, diverse educators to our district to serve and represent our diverse, beautiful, and capable students. The deliverables are to hire up to 19 teachers on J1 visas for our hard-to-fill areas, including bilingual, TESOL, world language, math, sciences, elementary, music, art, and English as part of our Caribbean Connection teacher recruitment program. The contract amount is dependent upon our teachers who we hire and bring to the district. It's based on a percentage, 20% or 25% based on their area of certification, meaning if they are a teacher in a harder to fill area, such as a math or sciences, it's 25% of the base salary. If it's elementary, it would be 20%. The contract term for this proposal is 3 years. And again, I'm with the Office of Talent Management, and this is aligned to priority for skillful staff and effective operations. Next slide, please. So to give you some background on this agenda item, International Alliance Group's one-year contract was approved by the board in May of 2022, but it will end on June 30th this year. The contract allowed the hire of 4 international teachers from Dominican Republic under J1 visa sponsorship by IAG. The Office of Talent Management is presenting a 3-year contract renewal to the Teaching and Learning Committee and Board of Education, which would allow the district to hire up to 15 additional international teachers on J1 visas under sponsorship of IAG as part of the Caribbean Connection teacher recruitment program. Next slide, please. As I mentioned earlier, and this is in alignment with Priority 4. In August 2022, the district hired 4 teachers from the Dominican Republic on J1 visa sponsored by International Alliance Group. The contract with IAG was for 1 year and will end this upcoming June. With the success of this year's cohort of international teachers, OTM is seeking approval of a 3-year contract with IAG to increase the number of international teachers with our Caribbean Connection teacher recruitment program to a total of 19 teachers. Given that Connecticut is home to one of the largest Caribbean communities in the world, being the 5th largest population of resident Jamaican ancestry among all the United States, the expansion of our recruitment efforts into other Caribbean countries will help us to secure unique talent in hard-to-fill areas and create an exchange of culture, history, and ideas. Additionally, this partnership is important for our dual language classrooms, the high concentration of Brazilian Portuguese-speaking children and families. Next slide. OTM has developed the Represent BCBS recruitment strategy to ensure that we hire a robust and qualified workforce that serves and represents our diverse, beautiful, and capable students. To recruit and hire exceptional educators to the district, we have to source candidates using various approaches, as there is not one size that fits all, including for our own initiatives, educator prep partnerships, local outreach with community partners, as well as recruitment beyond Connecticut, including national and international outreach. This proposed contract supports our international recruitment efforts. Next slide. International Alliance Group Teach Alliance program provides the opportunity for international teachers to participate in a cultural exchange program under a J1 visa. IAG is approved by the U.S. Department of State to sponsor teachers in grades pre-kindergarten through grade 12. The premise for this cultural exchange program is that visiting teachers have an immersive experience in their host country and bring their newly acquired knowledge and skills back to their home country. Conversely, our school community is able to learn about the culture, history, and society of participants' home countries, many of which our students identify with in their own family history and culture. Without the J1 visa, the teachers we are seeking through the Caribbean Connection teacher recruitment program would not be eligible for hire. Next slide. So for our current needs, just to give you a snapshot of what we are looking at, we currently have a need for 58 teachers to fill positions in the areas of bilingual, TESOL, world language, math, sciences, elementary, music, art, and English. HBS is not approved by the U.S. Department of State to sponsor J1 visas, nor do we have the bandwidth to embark on that process. IAG is recognized by the Connecticut State Department of Education to sponsor teachers seeking the Visiting International Teacher Permit, which is a requirement here in Connecticut. And without approval of this contract, we will not be able to hire international teachers from the Caribbean. International Alliance Group recruits and vets international teachers for visa requirements who are currently working as teachers, hold a minimum of a bachelor's degree, and are currently working, as teachers, hold a minimum of a bachelor's degree and have had 2 years minimum of professional experience, and have to have high levels of English proficiency. Excuse me. IAG presents vetted candidates for interview in an online applicant tracking system to the district. They manage cultural activities and classroom readiness preparation. They provide wraparound services, ensuring teachers are ready for employment on day one. And they provide teachers with in-person, asynchronous, and synchronous online sessions, webinars, and online webinars. The district's responsibility, on the other hand, is to source talent and provide candidates for IAG's vetting. So we hosted 3 information sessions. We had about 849 people register for those events. Those folks who then applied, we vetted and referred to IAG for vetting. We also are responsible for selecting teachers for best fit and placing teachers on the HFT bargaining agreement pay scale. And we also have a responsibility to ensure that we support these teachers with new teacher mentoring. And we also hold these teachers to the same standards of performance that we would any teacher that we hired here domestically. Next slide. So this is the IAG cost breakdown. And as I mentioned earlier, the cost is based on the candidate's certification area. So for years 1 through 3, 20 to 25% of a teacher's annual compensation is paid to IAG. $3,000 is also paid on a yearly basis to cover their health insurance. And so in this chart, what you see here are ranges. So we wanted to give a range of what that could cost. Of course, salaries are dependent on each individual person. We know, though, that these teachers have to have at least 2 years of experience. So what we did is we calculated based on bachelor's, master's, or a veteran teacher who has a lot of years of experience with that 2 years at a 20% rate and a 25% rate. The totals for year 1 and 2 will remain the same. However, in the 3rd year, our current 4 teachers who are from the Dominican Republic will no longer be in the program, so the cost will decrease in year 3. So you can then see the total per year, the total over 3 years, and the average total is the average 20% in all 3 lanes and the average 25% in all 3 lanes. So assessment and program monitoring for this. Some of the highlights of an international teacher program include that these are educators who are experienced teachers. Many teachers have taught in diverse settings previously or are currently. We've had an overwhelming support from the Hartford community, offers to partner to provide wraparound supports from area foundations and the teachers union. Actually, the program has really made it to other towns, i.e. Newington, and other towns across the state, but we've actually had interest from other cities and districts across the United States, as far away as I think Texas, seeking some information on how we're doing this. Through our own outreach, the district led 3 information sessions. We had about 850 people attend those sessions. We had 328 candidates submit those applications. Of those, we narrowed it down to 24 who had all the necessary paperwork, met the eligibility requirements, and were advanced to an initial screen. And now as of today, we have it down to 19 candidates that we've advanced to a panel interview, which includes not only central office, but school leadership as well. And so we've referred those candidates to IAG if they haven't already started to apply, but we're also looking at the candidates that IAG has already vetted for us. So another highlight that we have to share is that through this program, after our 1st year, we still have these 4 teachers from the Dominican Republic, and they have been doing well successfully as determined for their performance. And that is the end of my conversation on the PowerPoint. Are there any questions? And Isaiah is also here to answer any questions if you want to hear a little bit more about the work that IAG does.
Thank you so much. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I forgot to mention that Dr. Curtis, our Chief Talent Officer, is unfortunately in negotiations, so that's why she's not on this call, but she will try to get away and join shortly.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Christina. And thank you for that presentation. I have a question. Can you just, Christina, can you go back on the slides, if you don't mind, with the breakdown, the financial breakdown, the cost, yes, the cost. Thank you. So, thank you so much. So I see year 1 to year 3, you explained the 20 to 25% with regards to the bachelor's, master's, and veteran. So can you just explain the breakdown for year 1 total, year 2, and year 3?
Oh, you're on mute, Nancy.
Oh,
No,
Sorry.
Nancy. No, you weren't.
I apologize. So breakdown for year 1 total. So in the bachelor's lane, we broke it down to $242,725 represents teachers who have bachelor's with a minimum of 2 years experience in a non-hard to fill area. Whereas the $300,086 are candidates who have a bachelor's with at least 2 years of experience. And they are going to be teaching in a hard to fill area such as math or science. And then in year 2, the numbers stay the same for the bachelor's and master's and veteran, because these are the same teachers that we're hiring for the upcoming school year, and the 4 current that are already here. It's in year 3 where it changes a bit, because currently the teachers who are here in a J1 visa are here for 3 years with the ability to expand that up to 5 years. But right now we're just looking, because the contract that we're proposing is for 3 years, we figured we would just stay within that cost range. So at year 3, when the teachers from the Dominican Republic exit the program, we will only be paying for the 15 teachers that we would bring in the 23-24 cohort. So that number is 191,625 for candidates who have a bachelor's in minimum of 2 years in a non-hard to fill area, and 236,910 would be the 25% group. And then the total for years under the bachelor's is just those amounts, years 1 through 3 added up. And then the average total is, we took the 20% from each lane, bachelor, master's, veteran, and averaged that out among those 3. And that was $841,216 for teachers who would be paid under the 20%. I mean, not teachers paid, but IAG would be paid the 20% of the teachers in the non-hard to fill areas. And then the $1,335,390, that would be for teachers in the 25%, if we had all teachers in the 25% range. I'm hoping that made sense. If you need to clarify, please feel free to ask. I know it's a bit tricky.
No, thank you. Thank you for the clarification. Another question I have is with regards to the bachelor's, master's, and so on. How do you determine which schools, or do you have a list of schools in the different countries that you will say, okay, we will accept the bachelor's, or this is equivalent to a bachelor's, or this is equivalent to a master's in the countries that you're recruiting these students? I mean, these teachers.
Yeah, I can talk to that, and I would also, if Isaiah wants to talk a bit more about it, how they work with the candidates too, to walk them through that process. But what it basically comes down to is if a candidate does not have a degree from a U.S. institution, educator prep program, they have been asked to please have their foreign transcripts evaluated by SpanTran, which is a foreign credentialing agency that is recognized not only by IAG, but also the Connecticut State Department of Education. And so that is the entity, the agency that reviews the candidates' transcripts and determines, based on the courses that they took, what that equates to for the US standards. So you may have someone who had a bachelor's from another country and everything aligns well, and they don't have to take any other coursework, or a lot of the candidates that we're looking at also have their master's already too. So they may have a bachelor's plus some credits, or they may have a bachelor's and a master's. I don't know if Isaiah wants to add a little bit more to that.
Yeah, appreciate it, Nancy. I thought that was a really good explanation, but yeah, we work in partnership to ensure the backgrounds, educational backgrounds of these candidates, and then present them in a pool for your teams to begin interviewing. So both candidates that we have, plus those that the districts have brought to us, that we would go through and evaluate, ensure that their backgrounds are evaluated properly.
Thank you so much. And let me see, I'm looking for any hands. Up, I don't see any. Any board members? And nope, I think we are all set. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you. And if you have any follow-up questions, if you're like me, you think about things and the next day you think of 5 different questions, feel free to let us know. I'm happy to provide as much information as possible to inform your decision.
Thank you so much. And Christina, can we please have the agenda again?
Yes. Okay. Next up is the proposed district calendar for the 2023-24 school year. And we have Chief Davis Gooch on the call, covering for Dr. Negron. So I will turn it over to Chief Davis Gooch, and I need to share, right? Where's the PowerPoint?
Yeah. Thank you, Christina.
You're welcome. I'm sorry. You know what I did? I closed the PowerPoint accident, and give me 1 second to open it again.
Okay.
I'm a mess today, people. So sorry.
Okay.
While Christina is pulling up the PowerPoint, I can just give a brief overview of what we're going to discuss. So we're going to talk about the development process of the school year 23-24 calendar. And then we're going to talk about the working assumptions. And then we're also going to just walk through some snippets of the calendar.
Why is it black?
I don't know.
Let me do that again. Okay, that's odd. Let me refresh. You don't happen to have it, do you?
Nina, yes, I have it.
Okay, so
Let me
sorry.
try. No problem.
I'm gonna stop sharing.
Okay. How about now?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, great. Now let me get my screen set up. Okay. Okay, is it showing in full screen? Perfect. Okay, as I shared, I'm going to start with the development process. It starts with actually reviewing the school district calendars from 12 surrounding districts. Those were the ones that were available at the time. Those districts include Bloomfield, East Hartford, Farmington, Glastonbury, Meriden, Newington, Rocky Hill, Simsbury, Waterbury, West Hartford, Wethersfield, and Windsor. So we did have a good group of schools that had already developed their district calendar, which was great. To the extent possible, we worked to align the days off with our surrounding towns. The HFT was also engaged. The draft of the calendars was shared, and the HFT was able to collect responses from about 277 HFT members. And lastly, if you recall, winter break was extended this year. It took place the last week of December and extended through the first week of January. So these are the things that were reviewed and discussed before we moved into developing the calendar. The working assumptions that, again, that includes the development process. We know that we have to have a 181-day school year. School begins the last week in August. We did do the work of trying to around with the surrounding districts, specifically to Indigenous Day. Schools will be closed for staff and students. We will be open Veterans Day. The surrounding districts that are open on that day is Bloomfield, Farmington, Glastonbury, Newington, Simsbury, West Hartford, Wethersfield, and Windsor. We did the work of aligning our spring breaks with the surrounding districts to the extent possible. And then again, we're going to transition back to our typical winter break. And there will be no observance for Three Kings Day because it falls on a Saturday. Professional learning days, there will be 6 of them. There will be 3 in August, 1 in October, 1 in January, and 1 in February. There will be 11 early release days dedicated to professional learning. This will happen on the 1st and 3rd Wednesdays when possible. And we will continue with our intercession weeks that happened in February and April. If you recall that these intercessions, this additional opportunity for our students to engage in learning was a part of our ESSER grant application. The following is just snippets of our calendar just to highlight the key dates. I'll walk through them quickly. So in the month of August, there are 3 professional days, full day, on the 23rd, the 24th, on the 28th. Our first day of school for students is August 29th. September 4th, we will recognize Labor Day. And September 6th and 20th are early release days for professional learning. So that's July through September. I'm going to move through October and December. October 4th, 18th, November 1st, December 6th are early release days for professional learning. Again, October 9th is Indigenous Peoples Day. Schools will be closed for staff and students. And again, that's aligning with our surrounding towns. That list stays the same. November 7th will be closed for Election Day. I'm sorry, schools will be closed for students, but it'll be a full day of professional learning. November 15th is early release for parent-teacher conferences. November 22nd is an early release day for Thanksgiving break. December 22nd, early release for the holiday break. And again, our holiday break is going back to the shortened 1 week of December 25th through the 29th. January through March. January 1st will be closed for New Year's Day, the 15th for Martin Luther King's Day, and March 29th for Good Friday. January 2nd and February 16th are full day professional learning days. January 31st is an early release for parent and teacher conferences. Early releases for professional learning would be February 7th, March 6th, and March 20th. Winter recess, which is inclusive of President's Day, would be February 19th through the 23rd. And then the intercession will run that week, Monday through Thursday, which is February 20th and 23rd. I'm sorry, that would be Tuesday. Our intercession would start and end on the 23rd. And then lastly, April through June. April 8th through the 12th is spring recess. Our intercession, our second session is April 8th through the 11th. Early release days for professional learning will be April 17th and May 1st. Parent-teacher conference early release is April 24th, May 15th. And the last day of school for students will be June 12th. It's early release for students and full day for staff. And June 13th, 14th, and 17th will be reserved in the event of a snow day. And that covers the calendar. Going to pause here for additional questions.
Thank you so much. I do have Chairman Rigger who has his hand up. Chairman Rigger, you have the floor.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you, Chief Davis Gooch. Just quick question. In general, when a holiday, just want to make sure we're consistent. When a holiday falls on a weekend, we do not observe that like either the previous business day or the following business day, correct?
So I'm going to have to just go back and check my thinking, but I believe it's a major holiday like Christmas or New Year's. We still will extend it to the Monday.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and as you can imagine, I'm asking just due to Three Kings falling on the weekend,
Saturday.
I believe, on the Saturday. Just want to make sure that we're using the right kind of algorithm, right, to make our determination of days off or not, or no days off.
Yep, understood. I'll go back and check my thinking and share it with the team.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And I am checking the chat. I don't see any more hands up. Okay, thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
And Christina, can you please, are you able to put the agenda back up, or were you able to get the, okay, there we go. Thank you so much. And the final item on the agenda is the freshman on track.
For that, we have Dr.
And
Felder. Dr. Felder's on the call.
Yes, good evening, everyone. To board members and fellow colleagues here in the district, thank you. I'm here to present an update on our on-track failures for today. So if we can go to the next slide. So our agenda for today is very simple, but very detailed. And we're going to review the positioning of our on-track work here in the district in regards to our strategic plan. I want to be able to provide you all with an overview of our current strategies and also provide you an opportunity to ask questions. So before we start, I want to make sure that I ground you in where this work falls in our district strategic plan. It lives in priority 1 under the purview of the Department of Academics. Within this priority, it falls within strategy 3, which is focused on preparing our students to be on track for high school, college, career, and life. So a critical part of the work of strategy 3 is our continued work in our high school redesign. We'll discuss tonight each of these 3 areas, because they all directly impact our on-track rates. So we'll discuss in detail freshman academy, career pathways, and then personalized pathways as it relates to our high school redesign. So I first want to review with you the definition of On Track for us in Hartford Public Schools because it does align with the same definition that the State Department of Connecticut uses, State Department of Education of Connecticut uses. So for grade 9, we define On Track as 9th graders who have passed at least 6 classes during their 9th grade year and no course failure in math or English. And then in grade 10, students who have earned 6 credits to be eligible for 10th grade status have passed at least 6 classes during their 10th grade year and no course failure in math, English, science, or social studies. And then for grade 11, On Track is defined as earning 12 credits, passing at least 6 classes during the 11th grade year, no course failures in math, English, science, social studies, or world language. And then in grade 12, earning 18 credits and no course failures in grade 12 in order to be eligible for graduation. So our first strategy, as I outlined before, as it aligns to our high school redesign, is Freshman Academy. And our work in the Freshman Academy supports our On Track rates in regards to implementing high impact programs that are focused on facilitating successful academic and social emotional transitions for our 8th to 9th grade students. So here, I want to actually walk you through how that work impacts On Track and failure rates in a variety of ways and what that practice actually looks like. So the impact is that we are seeing an increase in the number of first-time 9th grade students who are On Track. We're also seeing a reduction in the number of students who are repeating 9th grade. And we're also seeing that our students are being more prepared to maintain On Track status throughout high school, and that there is a shift that is happening in our district in regards to the culture of being on track and students accessing and receiving student supports. So what that looks like and feels like in our buildings, we've implemented a summer bridge program for all first-time 9th grade students, where they participate in a summer program before going into high school. And we also have a freshman seminar course that our freshmen are taking to help them get acclimated to the transition from middle school to high school. We've also looked at it from a systemic view in terms of master scheduling and the processes and making sure that our facilities and that their staffing and capacities and coursework that is aligned to support our students through intervention blocks. We've also protected teacher time and training and provided common planning time and teaming for teachers to be allowed to converse with one another in order to look at student progress, work, evidence of work in order to support them. We've also developed On Track data team meetings and On Track student-led conferences to give student voice to the process, and also professional learning communities for our grade 9 assistant principals in order to actually lift the work of Freshman Academy across our schools. So one of the most important measures of our impact is in the area of students and their on-track rates. So here you can see the on-track rates for every student group except grade 9 repeaters have been rebounding towards pre-pandemic rates. The first graph of our bars represent grade 9 first time. So those are 9th graders who are first time 9th graders. And then grade 9R are 9th graders who are repeaters, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. And you can see that our 12th graders are on-track rates have actually surpassed pre-pandemic rates, making them the group with the highest percentage of students on track to graduate. Our grade 9 repeater rate was a concern for our Freshman Academy team. We actually did recognize that. And the impetus for expanding our Freshman Academy work to include more intensive supports for our students. We have recognized that this is an area of need for us to address. I want to now zoom in for you our first time 9th grade students, as they are the population receiving the focus supports for Freshman Academy. We see here that the percentage of first time 9th graders passing 6 or more courses have steadily increased across the district. We're seeing similar gains in our comprehensive schools, where one of our partners, CT Rise, is intensively supporting our 9th grade academies. I also want to showcase for you the impact this work has had on our educators. CT Rise has surveyed staff involved in the freshman academies and found that the vast majority of them were proud of their work. They valued the opportunity to be a part of the work, and they felt that the tools and professional learning and resources allowed them to make data-driven decisions. And here in this chart, you'll see some of the questions that were asked and the evidence of those questions that was given. Our second strategy in our high school redesign process is the alternative pathways. And that is supporting the work of providing high quality alternative pathways that provide individualized experiences to every student. This work impacts our on-track and failure rates also in a variety of ways. So let me walk you through how each of that impacts. So for one, in our alternative pathways, again, these alternative pathways, individualized pathways for our students, they support credit recovery for all of our students who are overaged, undercredited. These are students who need to regain credit that was lost. It also provides educational modalities that are individualized to support the learner. And it also provides increased academic, behavioral, and social emotional supports to support our students. We're implementing these strategies and this evidence in our programs at Hope 1 and Hope 2, also through our student support success centers that are in 3 of our comprehensive high schools, our personalized pathways, and also our partnership program with Opportunity Academy. So I want to give you a great example of the positive impact that these individualized pathways have had on student on-track rates. Students who are in our student success centers, again, those are our student success centers in our 3 comprehensive high schools, work closely in a very small group setting with staff to recover credit via our Edgenuity platform. This year alone, 207 students have recovered 258 credits in 325 unique courses. This recovery of the credit actually helps students who are in the Student Success Center because, again, they are overaged and undercredited. And so making progress towards being on track for graduation is a great success for our students. Here's another picture of how credit recovery lends to graduation for our potential Student Success Center graduates for this school year, 22-2023. This year, we anticipate that 198 students who were previously off track will graduate. We consider this to be a huge success and are extremely excited about the positive impact that the centers will continue to have for our future students. So you will see here a comparison of students who were in the program in 21, 22, and then we have an increase of 2023 students. I also want to show you how we've seen a large number of credits being earned and recovered by our students at OPP, at Opportunity Academy. This exemplifies the positive impact that individualized supports and educational modalities have on students when they're given different choices to regain and become re-engaged in their education. So for example, you will see here that students, there are 5 students who are actually earning up to 4 credits who are 17 years and older, but then you see how that the number of students who are from 17 to 21 regaining credits. And I broke this down for you by credit and by age. Our third strategy in the high school redesign is comprehensive advising, and how that supports students with on-track dating is through our counseling staff and also through our community partners. This work also looks and feels different in a variety of ways. The way that we're impacting on-track graduation and failure rates, we're reviewing student data to track progress and identify necessary support. We're actually developing and implementing curriculum related to post-secondary planning, career pathways, social development, and social emotional development for grade level seminars, and also through developmental guidance lessons that are being pushed into the classrooms. We're providing one-on-one academic and post-secondary planning supports to students to make sure that every student in our district has a post-secondary plan post-high school. Just go back, what that looks like. What that looks like for us is that the advisory and seminar classes are being implemented in all of our schools, and that enrolling our students in dual enrollment in AP courses has also shown a direct connection to post-secondary success for our students. So in looking at our AP data, this is students who are taking advanced placement courses, because this directly aligns to the third component in our high school redesign, which is academic advising, comprehensive advising. We reviewed the number of students who are enrolled in AP courses district-wide, and we have seen a decrease over the past 3 years. And while some schools have more AP offerings than others, like Hartford High, HMTCA, Weaver, and Pathways, some high schools have very few or none. And this is partly due to staffing challenges. In particular, in order to teach an advanced placement course offered by College Board, you have to be trained to teach the class. But then we also just have to have the staffing. And in some schools, we've either lost staff due to teachers leaving the district, or we just don't have a qualified teacher to teach the actual course. And so staffing challenges is definitely a concern for us, and something that we want to and need to address. We also looked at our dual enrollment classes and reviewed and saw that there's an increase over the past 3 years in students taking dual enrollment courses. The definition of dual enrollment means that these are courses being taught in our schools by our teachers, but it is in articulation agreement with a local college. So for example, some of our teachers are teaching UConn ECE courses, but they're being taught by our teachers, and our students are receiving UConn ECE credit. Or our teachers are teaching courses in collaboration with Capital Community College. And so our teachers serve as a liaison for the course, and then our students benefit because they're also gaining college credit from Capital or UConn or the University of Hartford or Trinity. And then our students are able to take that college credit when they graduate from Hartford Public Schools on to whatever post-secondary institution that they want. So we're seeing an increase in the number of students who are taking dual enrollment courses, earning high school credit, and also earning college credit at the same time. We're seeing a large increase at University High with this collaboration, and that's due to some of the expansion work that's being done at University High. And we're also working to identify ways to expand dual enrollment opportunities at other schools. So for example, we're in deep conversations right now with Capital Community College around what courses can we expand and offer in collaboration with Capital Community College for our students to take. And so we're looking forward to that partnership and rolling that out next school year. Our work also with comprehensive advising is making sure that all of our students have options. So yes, we are promoting college and career, but through our Narviance platform, through our partnerships with many of our partners in our schools and the work of our school counselors, we have seen a increase in the number of students who are applying to college. So you'll see here that we're seeing about 5,800 or 58,000, 5,829 college applications have been submitted by our current high school seniors this year. This is a true testament that lets us know that our students are hungry for this information and very much interested in going on to post-secondary schools, which is a mix. So our data is collected with a mix of 2-year applications, 4-year applications, and also trade. And so this is really good news for us because it lets us know that there's an appetite for continued education, either 2-year, 4-year, military, or trade. Our fourth and final strategy for supporting on-track rates is expanding opportunities for students to engage in career exploration. For us, this work is about providing engaging work-based learning experiences, supporting students with identified post-secondary opportunities that align with their interests and values. So if a student is interested in 2-year, we're providing them with those interests and those explorations and those experiences. If they're interested in the military, what can we do to support that career, and so forth and so on. And so what that looks like in our schools is that we have career pathways. So you heard me say earlier, personalized pathways. The personalized pathways is for students who are overage, undercredited, but we have career pathways in all of our comprehensive high schools to support students in their post-secondary planning and to offer them career and real world place experiences right now in school. We also have launched Career Conversations, a video series. We have internship opportunities with our partner Ready CT, college visits coordinated by our school counselors and our community partner Higher Heights. And then also we have events that are geared towards our students in the district. So for example, on April 5th, we're hosting an in-person college and career fair with over 40 universities and colleges from Connecticut, New York, Maryland, Florida, Massachusetts, Vermont, Rhode Island. They're all coming here to meet all of our juniors, and that is being led by our partner Higher Heights. There's also on-site acceptance day events that are happening, so students get to feel being accepted to a college now, and that's being led by Higher Heights as well. We also have spring career awareness week activities for our 7th and 8th graders in our partnership with Junior Achievement, and that's offered to a vast amount of experiences for our underclassmen, right? Our 7th and our 8th graders, even our 6th graders get to experience career awareness activities with our partner Junior Achievement. And then we also have Career Pathways Signing Day for our 9th grade students. The Pathways Signing Day event is where our 9th graders get to learn about the career pathways that exist in their schools. And so I want to show you what that data looks like on the next slide. Oh, well, it's coming up, not on this slide. One of the other goals in terms of understanding what our students want is every year our students have to take a career key assessment. And that career key assessment gives us very good data around what our students' interests are so that we can tailor either our educational experiences, our vocational experiences, and everyday experiences and other partners that need to come to the table to help us to make sure our students have as much information and access to information as possible. And so what I'm sharing with you now is our top 10 career cluster data for all of our students in grades 9 through 12, the data that they have submitted already this year. And you can see that the majority of our students are interested in education and training. Our second largest interest is in human services and so forth and so on. And so we are taking this data, doing a deep dive around what we can do to make sure that students have experiences through our pathways and through our community partners and events and field trips and things like that to actually match and meet their interest. And then this slide here goes back to what I was talking about earlier. I wanted to share with you the enrollment in our career pathways across our high schools. So we have a total of 411 students are enrolled in our career pathways across our comprehensive high schools. This is really exciting information because it lets us know that our students are committed to continuing and expanding the opportunities available to them in each pathway. So at Buckley High School, there are 58 students in the computer science pathway, and then 72 students in the public service pathway. At Hartford High, there's 57 students in the allied health pathway and 65 students in the engineering pathway. At Weaver, there's 123 students in the insurance and finance pathway and 36 students in the journalism pathway. So we're really excited about having this information and that our students are engaged in providing us with this information so we can ensure that we're meeting all of those three components of our high school redesign. I do want to close and leave you with a very brief video. This video is a great example of one of the opportunities available for our pathway students. This year, we began filming videos of our career connections and made it into a video series. And this series interviews professionals from a variety of industries about their academic and career experiences. And students from our journalism and media pathway were a part of the project. So this was student-led. So I just want to turn it over to you, and I hope you get excited and enjoy our student work. Is there sound?
No sound.
You might have to, Christine, come off of your headphones in order for the sound to be live for everyone to hear.
Anything?
No, no
Can you
sound
hear?
yet. No.
Okay. I'll share it with the board.
Okay.
I'm not wearing headphones, so I'm trying to change the speaker and the microphone, but it's still not working.
Okay.
So I'll share the video with the board members.
Okay, great. Let's see here. I wonder if we have another option.
I can.
Because even if it's an 8-minute video, but if we can get it up and at least show about a minute or a minute and a half of the video, that would be great.
Let me know if you can hear. I'm gonna keep switching.
I think I just heard something.
Hi, my name is Jamila
Yes.
Johnson. I'm a senior at Weaver
It's
High
working.
School. Today I'll be talking to Aya Gala, a reporter at WFSB. What inspired you to choose this career? Did you always want to be a reporter?
So that's a great question. I actually did not always know I wanted to go into journalism. Back when I was in high school, I was actually looking at pre-medicine, and then I took some classes in the STEM field and I learned I really didn't like it. So my parents really pushed me to do something I liked and enjoyed. So I did the morning announcements at my high school, and that was something I loved. And I always liked writing. So I ended up majoring in journalism and political science. I always was interested about world events and what was happening, not just nationally, but internationally too. So I ended up studying both.
Yeah, it's the same thing I do too. I do the morning announcement.
Oh, very good. Yeah, that's a great way to get your foot in the door and get that experience too. I would say that it's okay to fail because you learn a lot from your mistakes. You learn a lot from where you mess up. And that's not a direct lesson we learned in school, but I've learned it working in TV now for about 5 years. You learn a lot from your mistakes. And I think everyone either in front of the camera or behind the scenes has made a mistake. Maybe you forgot to charge a battery, or maybe you mispronounced someone's name, or you made a mistake, but you learned so much from those mistakes. And I think the part where they're most beneficial is when you can learn and grow from them, because we always want to be perfect and not mess up, but you learn so much and everyone starts somewhere. And so it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail, because that's often where you learn so much and grow so much too. It's important you take breaks. So for me, I love to read. I like to read nonfiction books, fiction books. I like to just go on walks, spend time with family, friends, do a little shopping, hiking, spend some time at the gym. So I think it's important, regardless of whatever field you're in, you take a little bit of time to unplug each day, not look at your phone too much, and just rest and relax so you could face the next day recharged and ready to go.
What does a typical day looks like on the job, and how does it affect?
Okay, I just wanted to share a little bit. I wanted her to ask a question so you can hear.
That's great. Thank you. And just to let you guys know, like the students took complete control of that project, from the editing to the interviewing. So really proud of their student work there and their involvement. So I'll pause here and I'll turn it back over to Ms. Santiago for next steps. Thank you, everyone.
I'll turn to Ms. Darasol Ledger, our chair.
Yep. Thank you so much for that presentation. Very enlightening. I do see two hands, but I have a quick question before I turn it over to my fellow board members. The one question I have is with regards to the AP courses that you mentioned you don't have the staff for. Do you have a like a specific number of AP courses and the specific schools where there is the need for those staff? And if there's a possibility where it's actually a two-part question. If there's a possibility for students in one school perhaps to attend those, take those courses at a different school, I'm speaking specific because I wouldn't like to see students who have the ability and the capacity to learn and take advantage of an opportunity to lose that opportunity as a result of us not having the staff.
Yes, I have some of that information, but not all of it for your question, because you had two parts to your question, and I'll be able to get that and I'll share that with the board.
Thank you so much. And I
You're
see
welcome.
that, okay, and I don't know if Board Member Brody or Chairman Rigger had their hand up first, so I will call on Board
Yes,
Member
Shantae could
Brody.
go. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation. So it was a lot. So some of my questions, because you mentioned University High, but then in some other parts of the presentation, when you broke down some of the numbers, you just had Hartford High, Buckley, and Weaver. So my first request is for the data that was given, are we able to get a breakdown by school? That's my first question. Second question is in regards to like the access to the early college courses, the ECE.
The dual enrollment.
Credits. Yes. So specifically, I would like that information per school, but as it pertains to magnet schools, the breakdown of Hartford kids that actually, versus suburban kids that actually take advantage of that opportunity.
Yes, I can share that. I can share that with the board, but I have a question for clarity. Do you want the breakdown of school, your first request of what? Was it by AP or was it because our pathways are only at the comprehensive schools? Our AP
that's why I said,
courses.
so, yeah. So that's why I was saying some of the stuff will be per school, but it's only certain schools. But then when it gets into the access, it'll be the only difference is when I'm asking for like the Hartford kids data is when, of course, it's a magnet school. I don't know if I confused you more or answered your question.
That's okay.
Answered your
I'll ask for,
question.
I'll ask for more clarity. It's okay. I'll ask for more clarity so I can get you what you need.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Chairman Rigger.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate the data and the presentation. Just a couple of quick questions. One is you mentioned college apps. I think the number was roughly 5,000 and let's call it 300. I would say just as a best practice, for at least for me, I would love to see kind of what is the kind of year over year. So 5,300 this year, right? I would love to get some type of comparison, right? So in that comparison, to the extent that you're able to, if it's year over year, that would be great. But if there's also like, this is the best year, let's say the best year was, I don't know, 8,000, that was 5 years ago. Like, I would like to see that, to see how we're tracking. So that's one. And then two, you mentioned as part of your strategy, as one of the 4 strategies, our piece of the pie. So full disclosure, I actually used to be on the board for our piece of the pie, so I'm very familiar with their model. One of the things that I'm interested in is how effective is the model, and if it's effective as compared to other models that we have or other strategies that we're deploying, is there the room or capacity to do more with OPP? Again, I'm not looking for an answer right now per se, but I think that's something that as a team we should think about. And then maybe a subsequent meeting or committee meeting, we could lift that conversation up.
Yes, definitely. We can definitely lift that up in a different subcommittee. And I'll get you the year by year college application comparison data as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Chairman Ruger. And I'm wondering if we're able to perhaps visit OPP to see how, just not drop in, but just to see how things, how they're working with the students perhaps and what their structure is.
So I can't speak for OPP per se, but knowing Hector, I think he would welcome the opportunity for the board to be more familiar with the OPP model. I'm not sure how that happens within the context of students, but I do know I'm confident Hector would be more than open to the idea of the board being more involved.
Thank you so much. And I do see Chief Davis Gooch.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to extend that just a bit. So their working contract actually falls under the Office of Operations. There was a presentation that talks about how OPP fits into the tiering of our students and why it looks the way it looks. So that may be helpful for some background information. I'm not sure if you all were here then or recall that presentation. Just to keep pulling on it, we work with that team weekly in terms of identifying students to participate and be considered for the OPP program. So if there's a deep dive, that would definitely include the Office of Academics, the Office of Enrollment and School Choice, as well as the team over at OPP, who we work with collaboratively on a weekly basis. So I think it would be a great idea to move forward and have that conversation.
Thank you so much. And let me see, I don't see any more hands up. So I think we are all set. And if once again, if there are any questions, that anyone may think of afterwards, please reach out to Christina with your questions so that we can get the information, the answers that we need. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone.